Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying that if I don't lube up my arm, it gets harder to open bottles. And I mean, I really like soda, so, I just rather not risk it, I mean, yeah, sure, I can go for bottles, but no, I just like the can. The can kind of tastes better. You sip it and it kind of does that little. It's just, there's just something about that gives it that special little taste. You know what I'm talking about, Steph?
It's here. The best holiday in the world is here.
I mean, I guess. Honestly, Christmas is better than Halloween.
I am going to skin you alive.
Yeah, sure, whatever. What do you even like about Halloweener?
Don't you see? It's the one time a year when people embrace demonic rituals, where the blood of the damned covers the land, and humanity is its closest to its eternal destruction.
God, you're such a fucking loser.
Go fuck yourself. You're not taking this away from me. Don't you have one of your dumbass videos to do anyways?
Oh yeah! Let's see. What's something trending and relevant that I could potentially talk about for a Halloween? Five Nights at Freddy's, a game that honestly needs no introduction. But I want money, so I'm gonna make one anyways. Five Nights at Freddy's is an indie horror game series developed by Scott Cawthon. The first installment, you won't believe what it's called. Five Nights at Freddy's was released on August 8th, 2014 as one of Scott Cawthon's last games that he planned to release after multiple failed attempts to create a successful game. The game was an instant hit amongst the Let's Play YouTube community, and various YouTubers such as Fartiplier, Pissapie, and Jacksepticeye played it, bringing in millions of eyes onto Scott's creation. Honestly, any 19 to 20-year-old can tell you that Five Nights at Freddy's has a grip on all of 2014 to 2015. Nobody could escape these creepy-ass animatronics. Even Mexican bootleg flea markets weren't safe from the wrath of Freddy's. What the hell? Five Nights at Freddy's was a phenomenon, becoming a worldwide craze and launching Scott Cawthon from dollar store worker to professional game designer overnight, and haunting the nightmares of every 10 to 13-year-old all across the world. From there, multiple sequels to the game were released, such as Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Five Nights at Freddy's 3, and Fredina's Sexeria. So what exactly is so captivating about these games?
Welcome to San Andreas. I'm CJ from Grove Street, landed the heinous gangbangers in cold heat.
The gameplay of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise started pretty simple. You played as a security guard who for some reason can't fucking stand up. All you do is swivel left and right, with your only form of self-defense to these deadly animatronics is to close your damn doors and flash your lights. But if you keep on doing that, you run out of power, and then Freddy fucking mauls you to death. And honestly, that's pretty much the gameplay for all of the FNAF games. I mean, FNAF 2, you take out the doors, you have infinite power, and you add an extra animatronic. FNAF 3, you only got one animatronic and a bit more distractions. FNAF 4 is FNAF 1, 2, and so on. The formula of FNAF, while evolving, stayed true to its core. It wasn't until Pizzeria Simulator that the gameplay evolved, becoming some sort of tycoon along with the normal Five Nights at Freddy's gameplay. From there, Scott paired up with Steel Wool Studios to take the FNAF franchise into a different direction, making a full-fledged VR FNAF game and the full open-world FNAF experiences that players always wanted. One was praised and loved by the community, and the other, it happened. And that's where we are today. The indie horror series turned titan of the gaming world, and then got a bit oversaturated. But you know what, guys? I gotta come clean. I've never played a FNAF game. I know. It's crazy. So, to commemorate, I'm gonna play one now.
She is such a bad bitch, though. I will fuck the shit out of that robot, man. I'm not...
Alright, gamers. Here we are. We're playing FNAF, 12 a.m. Am I excited? Fuck no. I hate horror games. Why did I agree to do this? Okay, let's see here. Here's the weird thing about FNAF, right? You'd think that, like, it'd be scarier, because, ooh, it's a nighttime set. This is probably what the back of fucking Chuck E. Cheese looks like. You know, I could probably walk back there and see this shit. Oh my fucking, I'm fucking terrified. I'm not that good with horror games. I really am not. I'm not that fucking good. I'm not that good. Okay. It's not that bad. It can't be that fucking bad. It really can't. I think I'm just over fucking thinking it. Cause like, they're not that scary. I mean, look at those fucking plushies. They're not that fucking scary. I really genuinely don't think that it can be that bad. I remember back in the fucking day, people were like,
Bonnie and Chica were both there. Holy mother of Shrek cookies! He yelled as he viciously shanked the door button. The door was coming down, but stopped around 10 centimeters to the bottom. Something was blocking the door. Shit, fuck, I'm dead. It was a strap-on dildo.
Ugh, I've got to take over now because this dumbass got scared. I won't even look at his fucking computer. Great, alright. So let's see. Oh, why does he have to write his whole damn script on sticky notes? Anyways. What the fuck is a Five Nights at Freddy's? Alright, so one of the most significant aspects and the main reason that Five Nights at Freddy's became so popular was because of the fandom. Consisting of mostly young teens at the time, the FNAF fandom suffered greatly from something known as Tumblrification? Whatever that means. The fandom was overrun by children trying desperately to show their love to FNAF by making fan animations, fan art, ships, and Gmod RP videos with uncomfortable sexual undertones. The Freddy's brand has multiple interpretations, like Mike being a sexy Tumblr man, that weird Springtrap X Mangle thing, and whatever this is.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
God. Another big part of the fandom was YouTubers. In any game that was released, people were tuning in to watch Mark, Jack, and other YouTubers' Let's Plays, and they were huge, ranking in millions and millions of views, basically making some YouTube careers. Does any of it matter now? Not really. Then, what the fuck was the point of that? Over time, like any other fandom, the force of the FNAF fandom diminished, becoming a shell of its former self. No longer was the purple guy called Vincent, and no longer was Foxy just a glorified dog. People still drew sexy Chica, so some things didn't change. The FNAF fandom just doesn't have that same kick that it used to have. And that's where we are today. A dead fandom that has recently had its older fans revived because of an upcoming movie.
Hey kids, nice to eat ya. Are you ready for some Fazbear pizza?
Alright guys, it's time. We got all of the dumb shit out of the way. Now for my honest review of the movie. I'm filming it right after I get out of the theaters, so no scripts, no nothing. Just raw thoughts, and it's probably gonna suck. I swear to God if it sucks.
I peas into a cup. I've seen him do it with my own eye.
Alright guys, I just got out of the theater. The FNAF movie, my synopsis on it, it happened. Honestly, it was a thing that ultimately happened. The FNAF movie, it was really just underwhelming, to be honest. It wasn't that great. It was a good movie, decent, and I'm glad that the people who worked on it really did. Like, props to Scott Cawthon, right, for finally making a full-fledged movie. But, you know, apart from that, nothing else really happened. Let's chart this off. My thoughts on the movie was, it was too rushed, honestly. At least it should have been longer than it was. The introduction and the pacing for the beginning wasn't that good. It was alright, but I would have liked maybe a bit more connecting with Mike, his sister, the animatronics, focusing a lot more on the animatronics and the souls trapped in them. And get rid of William Afton. He did not need to be in this movie. Or at least, he did not have to have the presence that he did. that part was ultimately the most rushed bit. I mean, yeah, you have Vanessa, William. I don't think either of those characters should have been in this movie. Now, a lot of people are complaining that they changed the plot. They did. The plot stays true to itself in the most basic of terms. William, the purple guy, he killed, innocent children, blah, 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 yes. But there's also plot changes, right? Mike is not William's kid. Vanessa, she is the daughter of William Afton. Things like that, They don't delve into the deeper lore. Like, they don't mention Henry at all. They don't mention any of that. Which, I mean, I'm kind of glad they did. They didn't mention it, because that would just be too much for the average viewer to go. But at the same time, Springtrap's presence, or William's presence, whatever you want to call him, it was way too forced. It was way too rushed in this movie. It feels like they just wanted to get Springtrap out of the way, or at least set him up. But they didn't set him up correctly, and it just felt way too quick. It took away from the animatronics, really. Because the animatronics in this movie, they didn't have a deadly presence, or at least a deadly presence to Mike. Yeah, you had your, minutes where Freddy, Foxy, Chica, Bonnie, it was like a slasher film. Oh, look at how they get rid of the intruders in Freddy's. But apart from that, they didn't really have that big, bad presence of being, oh my god, they could scare you at any second and kill you. They get relatively undermined, And I get it, they're trying to set up the story of FNAF. You're trying to fit, 10, 12 different games into one movie. But they should have kept it simple. Maybe a bit of FNAF 1, FNAF 2. A hint towards William Afton's existence, but don't just spell it out, The movie just tried to cram too much into a little tiny package. Which, I mean, I respect it, right? You want to get familiar. This is a new retelling. And I respect it. This is a new beginning to the FNAF franchise. You're starting from scratch, right? Which, yeah, that's good. But at the same time, there are just some elements that I didn't like about it. Ultimately, if I could describe it in one word, it was underwhelming. That's really it. The movie didn't do as much as it should have for me. Which, I get it, to each their own. There's some people who absolutely love this movie. And, props to you. If you love it, you love it. But for me, it was an eh. So, honestly, if I would rate it anything, it'd probably be like a 3 out of 5 or a 5 out of 10. That's probably the most I'd give this movie. It just felt like it was way too rushed for what it was. If they would have made it 3 hours long, or maybe get out the idea that these animatronics more are like a death trap and a deadly presence, and took William out, or made him like a background force, because these movies, from what I understand, they want to make a trilogy, or at least they already have a second movie lined up. From what I've heard, the second one, is in pre-production already, right? So if you're already gonna set up sequels, why not take your time and build this story more and more? Because if it is a retelling or a brand new starting over, where do you go from the first movie? I mean, you already had the missing children. They kind of got their conclusion with William Afton being trapped. You solved the Afton thing. Vanessa, she's the daughter of William. Everything got revealed there. Mike, he got his happy ending with his sister. Where else do you go from here with the franchise? I mean, yeah, William can return, but I don't think that should be the same old gag from the games. It shouldn't really just be, oh, William returns again. That just seems way too cliche. And I know it's a staple for the franchise of William coming back, but, it should have been different. But honestly, that's my opinion on it. I take it back to you, Pass Sparks. Alright, guys. That's it. Video's done. Oh, yeah, I forgot one more thing.